And yeah, I mean, right now I can tell you that I'm liking Bottom Barrel's draft a little bit more, but you know, that high and low damage from Vindicta and Wraith, you never know. You never know.
You never know. You never can expect the expected or unexpected. As we got the lane allocations coming out here, we got, of course, the Mirage on the far left side against the Abram. I'm going to be trying to lane things up. And the other solo, we got a little bit inner. It is going to be the Shiv and Viscous to try and hold out. Trying to do what they can. I lied. That is a Dynamo once again, not a Viscous. This is on the other side. I saw the green. I was like, hey, that's a piece of the puzzle. But right now they are getting shoved in ever so slightly as TF2 Boomers are trying to put on the pain.
But nice even first wave there. Nobody missing anything except for one trooper on Mirage there, I think. But very, very, very even start. And like you said, this isn't an elimination match. It's a best of one. They can be a little experimental, have some fun with this one. They'll both be playing in the double elimination tomorrow. But, like I was saying in the last game, playing in best of threes and in that upper bracket would just be a far more ideal situation than having to play best of ones in the lower.
And you also get a little bit of time. I think that's something that's really, really fun, is getting to see the adaptability and getting to see the pieces of the puzzle that, you know, hey, how are we going to break down an opponent? Do we actually have to focus anyone? Do we have to deal with that one? Right now, though, it is still very focused on this matchup itself. I do want to point out left side inner. Bottom Barrel were able to get a pretty good push off. I think take a pretty decent chunk. That's going to be first blood to come out here as Abrams is going to fall on the far left side of your screen. It was a very big pickup by the Mirage. TF2 Boomers snagging that one.
That's actually a huge counter. I just realized the Scarab on Mirage being able to steal that max HP. That's going to be a nightmare early on. As you can see, in that outer left, 1.5k Abrams giving up the first blood, being all I mean, Mirage is double the souls already early on. That's going to be a huge start for Mirage. That's not a hero I think you want snowballing right now, as even after his nerf as well, being as new as he is going to be able to snowball in a game pretty easily.
I mean, you don't even talk about that. The fact that it was also locked in, the immediate grab of the Mirage for the Sapphire squad of TF2 Boomers. They knew what they wanted to play, and they are playing it out to a pretty good exception. Right now, though, lane allocations and assignments are still, you know, giving pretty hefty weight. Both squads are taking this one nice and evenly to an extent. The side lanes are really where we're seeing most of the action break out here, and that's why I'm kind of keeping eyes there. Who is going to break out on where? You can already go ahead and see that this the Guardians are doing what they can with the limited information in the movement that they do not have. So take a look at this Warden, which has now been seen 3 times in a row, and you see a fanciful little Infernus drop down with only a little low HP, but you yourself get tagged out, have to drop back to your own Guardian, and almost get snapped out from behind. That was a very dangerous scenario.
Close for a second. I was just sitting there thinking, this is actually kind of the first time I think today that we've watched a very respectful laning phase. True. Where I mean, there's just not an absolute monstrous push from one team or the other right now, and each team's actually starting. I think this is really going to come down to who gets their ult first. I think that's going to be Yamato there that just popped it, or how does it pop up? But Mirage on the other side is really close. I think it's going to come down to who is able to make their ult work for them first here.
Well, that was a little bit of a rough spot there. That was a very nice pickup. It was Boink that said, yo, freebie in the pocket. You go ahead, get a little bit of gravity held in your face, and Fish Cake falls as well. So TF2 Boomers starting things off pretty nicely with some kills. And they're going to go ahead and try and allocate it to a right inner push on this Guardian.
Yeah. And Mirage fell as well. Yamato moved over. She's continuing her snowball farm. She's starting to get up there, crossing the 4.4k mark there. This is looking good for Bottom Barrel. Yamato's another one of those heroes as well that she gets snowballing in the beginning. I mean, any hero really gets snowballing in the beginning. It's going to be a challenge to deal with them. But there are certain heroes that really thrive off of that, and I think Mirage is certainly one of them, mostly based on him being a new hero. but I know that Yamato certainly is one of those heroes that, just like that pocket earlier in a couple games ago that we watched, she could very well start creating a lot of space here.
And just being
this Vindicta will need.
Just being a pain as well. Getting into the mix, we saw some rotates, I think, from earlier teams, from different lane assignments. But the other side of the fact is I am watching the Mirage early on. I think it was yet. So it seems like the Abrams has been able to kind of get back in a good spot, and it's actually overtaken in the Souls game as well. You take a look there, hit 4K 100 above the Mirage, so a very nicely job done. Bottom barrel for their owner, also hunting for the first Guardian drop. You can see everyone's kind of bleeding out there in the damage count, so if you're able to grab the first one, it feels kind of good, and you start breaking open this game as well as possible.
Yeah, but still just more respectful laning to be done.
This is so quiet, we don't know what to talk about here, Big D.
Yeah, I mean, they're just chilling. They're just farming right now. Like, they're vibing, they're thriving. They're having a good time out here. They're certainly enjoying their final game of the day. There might be a little bit of harass on this Infernus. He's low. He's not having as good of a start as he'd like, but still, nobody really out of control. It's still a 1K difference here, 2K difference, 6.5, 7 minutes in. I think we'll see the difference pop up at the 7-minute mark as those as the full jungle camps will be spawning across the map.
Yeah. Is it truly jungle? Like, what are we calling it there? What we're calling, though, is death as Abrams goes down, as well as the Wraith on our scoreboards right now inside of this left inner. We're seeing the glide of the assassin trying to hunt some from the sky, and nothing else comes from it. However, with that death on the far left side of your screen, it is going to be a break for the Mirage, finally able to take down that Guardian and have a pretty good time.
I see the enemy.
Yeah. Let's
a little bit of a jump forward. Yep, pretty nice snag, and it's a great dive in. Beautiful job from Deathy, living up to the name, finding a little bit of a kill and looking for another if they can get that pinch. Fortunately for right now, you're
sandwiched.
You're hiding out and behind those, so I don't know how much more you can do with it. The Mirage does well, but you're not going to find a second. Instead, you go right back to farming.
Yep, no, I like that. The teleport from Mirage, I think that was the first one of the game there for him. He pops right up behind that Infernus. That's a good kill. That's another one of those heroes. Just, you saw it instantly drafted by Bottom Barrel. First pick for them. And they're feeling froggy about it, but now, although I guess I should be careful with that term froggy, since that's going to be associated with cheaters here in this game. But they're feeling good about it. And, yeah, hang on.
Oh, man, it's another piece of the puzzle. Singularity only brings their own death, though, as that's a disaster to strike. It's a 1-for-1 piece, and now more on the back end. The Viscous is trying to chase down one more. Rolls right after, not in the goo ball, but just a hard chase, as they're going to try and dance their way to find this last little flame. The flame is able to get a little bit of a stun. Looking for a punch if you can. The Q comes up, and it's going to give time to chase out, but no, you go down. Boink. Boink's a kill. It's a well-done chase. It was close. Don't get me wrong. The Infernus did their work, but not enough to turn it around.
The Infernus getting the parry there. That was sick. That was like the 3rd or 4th parry we've seen today. I absolutely love that move. And I mean, you get parried in a fight against somebody. Oh, you feel so helpless. Oh, you feel so terrible just sitting there staring at the ground for 2.5 seconds or however long it is that you're just down on the ground stunned from the parry. Because a low HP player can easily just turn around the fight. And I'm actually a little surprised that Infernus decided to turn around. I'm not sure if Infernus has built up the Spirit lifesteal with the healing booster quite yet, but that combo on Infernus makes it so that Infernus can really sustain super long in a 1v1, in case any of you out there in your pugs have been wondering what it is that Infernus is doing. He's got the infuser. He doesn't have any tier 2 items quite yet for his healing, but he's does have a kinetic dash though.
Yeah, it's enough, and it felt, you could actually feel the item combination really coming through. So, I mean, we're seeing the build up come out for these squads right now. Taking a look at excuse me, we hit the 10-minute mark. The urn is online. Same with the mid-boss. Ain't nobody going for the mid-boss right now. If you do, you are wild for it. But it is going to be a little bit of a chase inside of this jungle route. A little bit of flame to go out, though. What a teleport to get on behind. But now a rise into the sky means that the slams are going to be good inside of the ice, though. It brings a lot of death and damage, but so little death here. As they're trying their hardest, we're actually going to spin around to take a look away from the death and glory as Shiv is in a little bit of fight of their own. They're wrapping around as Gooball is able to get the Viscous out and away for a little bit of time, but how much longer is it going to be? What a getaway! I cannot believe that happened,
goes.
But the rest of the team has actually fallen behind as he left the Paradox to their own. So yes, the Viscous lived, but at what cost?
Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot there for TF2 Boomers. That's bottom barrel. They should start edging their lead now. I mean, despite it being back and forth very even at the beginning here, I really think that bottom barrel are going to be able to start taking this away. We'll see, though. I mean, again, there's the Vindicta. She can farm so well with her ult, giving her that bonus bounty on each kill. And there might be another fight breaking out. Kelvin's gone down.
It's a quick little pick, and you can see the call-outs. Hey, let's go ahead and push as much as possible. But how much are you actually going to get? It seems that death was a little bit on the rise side. Nothing really happened for it, except maybe this Guardian going down. Getting that infinite ammo while you're on the stairs gliding allows for this Guardian to go down, and that is going to place it at a 3-2 advantage in Guardian count for the side of TF2 Boomers.
Yep. That's, they're inching closer to that flex slot.
Oof. Benji with another excellent kill.
Yep, Dynamo going down this time. Okay. Well, I was going to say the Guardians are actually pretty tight. It's just down to this Broadway Guardian battle here now.
Oh! We saw that being lined up, by the way. We all saw that lined up, and we loved it. Beautiful snipe to open up a little bit more space for TF2 Boomers here on the inner right side, and now they can go ahead and push a little bit further. They're going to go ahead and try and roll their way in for a little bit more. Maybe get to the Walker if you can, but they see the Kelvin. They're going to try and light him up. In come the rest of the squad for backup, though, for bottom barrel. They're going to try and bring out the fight for their own. That Shadow Transformation has already been gone down, as well as a Frost Shelter, so they don't really have many ultimates in there. And because of that, Fishcake is going to die. Same with their Kelvin, and things are looking dire. It's a wash of 2 and few more to follow. 3 dead for bottom barrel, and TF2 Boomers only lose 1. This Vindicta is doing so much work to chase. As the sword slash to stun you down, but the Viscous will follow through. They chase and chase and chase more. The cube seals the deal, as it's 4 total in this battle.
Okay, the question marks are becoming less and less around this Vindicta at this last pick. There's so much space creation with the Warden, with the Mirage, with the Viscous, and even Paradox being able to pull people out of the fight as well and put them where they want. It really is just easy pickings for the Wraith and the Vindicta right now. It's that high-low combo that it's just so strong. Really curious also, we have not seen a Grey Talon at all in Group B, at least on stream.
Yeah.
It's just Vindicta. She's the only high flying hero that's getting played, it feels like. So definitely a huge advantage.
Yeah, it feels nice whenever you can kind of chase through the skies and not worry about anyone taking you down. At the current moment, though, taking a look at the state of the game, even with that early that earlier fight, we're still seeing only about a 4K difference in the souls count. So bottom barrel are ensuring that they are, you know, farming very efficiently, which is what we like to see. You can take a look here, though. It's going to be a little bit of a snap, trying to grab that urn as much as possible, and
the Mirage teleport. I'm not sure, but I believe that's an illegal move. Maybe Deathy didn't know.
Yeah,
we're gonna have a talk about that. There's a pause here.
Oh. Yeah, that is all right. We'll continue until we get further confirmation, but for
yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah, right now it is going to be continued here. It is going to be a little bit of a chance TF2 Boomers waiting for a chance as they still have pretty hefty control over the Guardians. They have knocked out all 4 so far. We didn't really take that into account, but they have, and now they're just going to try and work on those walkers. Right side outer has been huge in terms of getting DPS down, so TF2 Boomers might have a way in on that right outer.
Yep, it looks like another urn is going to be popping right up. There will be another fight for that. I'm sure Mirage won't be doing that again. Not sure what the outcome of that will be, but hang on. Another team fight for this last Guardian.
Yeah, and they're going to try and break it on home. You can see the hard shades coming in for bottom barrel. They're going to get a little bit of a swap situation, though, as that's going to be the Warden going down very quickly. TF2 Boomers might be getting the price here. But, of course, with that dive, it's all trouble for the Boomers as they barrel a lot their own pockets. A quick wipe of that right inner brings the count of souls to dead even.
Yeah, bottom barrel was hoping to just get that flex slot in the first that last Guardian, and then they picked up a Warden kill, a Paradox kill, and a Walker on top of all that. So they might the urn off of this. They've got a lot of space pushed out there. Dynamo and Abrams are going to be there. Mirage is waiting on the side of for TF2 Boomers, but so many players around this urn, it should be no problem for it to get dropped.
Yeah. I don't even think they would want to hazard a chance at that either. TF2 Boomers are just like, well, yeah, we kind of give that one over. Right now, they're more engaged on a fight on this side lane. They're going to try and bust their way in. Cube is down, but that's enough to bring the rest of the squad in. Shiv is going to fall as bottom barrel. Go ahead and grab that urn, pay the price of 1, maybe 2 here as another goo bomb goes down, and it's a perfect piece of the puzzle. It's going to be a 5-kill streak for the Vindicta, who we mentioned before as kind of a question mark, has earned the respect of not just the casters and the hosts, I'm sure, but the lobby as well.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. This Vindicta is getting taken care of. She's really helping out in these fights, and what a good read from TF2 Boomers coming right back up after losing their walker, recognizing the urn getting taken, and realizing how many players are probably surrounding that urn on the drop-off to create this space on that outer right lane, find the fight on both Shiv and Infernus, and grab a walker of their own now in return.
Yep.
Just even game, back and forth.
And that's kind of the fun part of this entire game. I think it's just the back and forth piece of the puzzle. How far are you going to let the macro go trying to secure a kill or 2? How much are you actually going to get each time, and is it worth to get a kill? I always think that's something that we got to talk about in MOBA standings because of the death timers as well. At the current moment, though, we are watching a little bit of a push come out from all the teams as we are now sitting at 101 to 102 in the solo count. Everyone jockeying for a piece of the puzzle. We get to see eliminations on the far end. The Abrams actually fell in that mix and the goo ball to get out of harm's way. It seems like TF2 Boomers are trying to apply pressure here on the left side, and the rest of bottom barrel have to respond.
Yeah, it's dead even here. The souls are tied. The TF2 Boomers are responding to these team fights really well, despite bottom barrel finding the picks. TF2 Boomers are creating the map space, and now they're ready for another walker.
Oh, they're not just ready for another walker. They're looking maybe for a bit more damage, as this is going to be a nice little spread. In goes a little bit of healing, though, as in the backside. That's going to be a snipe. It's well done piece. Bottom barrel. They take out the Paradox early, and they take out the Vindicta as well. What a snipe, and now a follow through as they chase some more. Vicious will go down. Viscous brings a no more, and with the Wraith currently out of commission, at least heading back to their own spawn, it's a 3-piece for 1 as bottom barrel win a fight.
Now it's mid-boss. Now it's mid-boss time. They turn around, they're going to be able to grab that. 3 players down. I was even going to say, right, as we were watching them start to push there, I think the next main thing here to really lock this game down for either one of these teams is this mid-boss, and I think that TF2 Boomers might actually have an opportunity to fight against this.
Nope, no, absolutely not. I love the turn off the mid-boss. Bottom barrel, like, yo, we saw the steal round 1. We ain't seeing that again. They go ahead, get the kill, and head right back to mid-boss. They are going to take it with, I don't think anyone contesting it this time around.
No, they wait outside. Warden's there close by.
Yeah.
Vindicta's looking for somebody, but there's nobody low on their side. They well-timed Abrams ult to hover in the air to make sure no steals come through. I like that. Committing the seismic slam, do it.
I love that everyone's so scared of that as well. It's just like, we see one steal go through and saw how it worked for the Raw Doggers, and it's like, we can't let that happen. We can't let ourselves get clipped like that. We can't allow ourselves to have that tied to our name.
Yeah, that's always the biggest concern is when taking mid-boss is that 9 seconds that it takes for the crystal to come down out of the air and finding the timing for the wind-up into the crystal. It's, it's a harrowing 9 seconds, as we saw earlier.
But it does bring a bit of satisfaction to me. It means that there's always an extra piece of the puzzle that you have to account for. So, with this already grabbed, bottom barrel are sitting pretty dang pretty. Yeah, 3k doesn't look like much, but with the extra rejuvenation, it means that if a fight goes awry, it's not the worst thing in the world. Another earned run is going to net bottom barrel a little extra, and this is going to allow them to try and pressure down these last few walkers or even aim for the mini guardians that are currently up. Well, I talk about that, but this is actually going to be a fight situation instead. Vindicta actually spotted out in the air, but with no real pieces, you're going to go ahead and send down. The singularity is there, and this is the catch that maybe you wanted, but however, take a look. The Yamato is actually quite low, so TF2 Boomers sitting with pretty healthy HP levels are going to force bottom barrel to go ahead and sit back. Another swatch through, though. They're going to get swapped out, and this is the chance that they want. Want to watch bottom barrel lose one immediately, and now they get a few more if they can. The chases in the back away. TF2 Boomers wondering who's next.
This is such nice movement from TF2 Boomers, baiting them into these fights, baiting out the abilities. They got Yamato down low. They've got the Kelvin ult out. Infernus' ult was gone. They've back him into a corner. The Rejuvenator's still up, but that's going to be gone for Infernus now. TF2 Boomers are despite having a slightly weird draft that has overcome all of our expectations, they just look like they're kind of mechanically outperforming bottom barrel in some of these team fights.
In some of them, though, I think is the key word right now. Mechanically, yes, but this is a game that I think you, I, and a lot of people can agree on. Abilities matter. Macro matters just as well. You can't just be aiming well, unless you're playing Vindicta and you are carrying. You have to be able to play the macro. You have to be able to have the abilities ready to go. So at the current moment, we are seeing a little bit of silence. You can go ahead and see this walker being sniped down very, very quickly. But bottom barrel wondering exactly what they stepped into. This could be dangerous, and bang goes that Warden. In goes the seismic impact to try and catch anyone out, but the slam goes a little bit awry just to try and keep yourself alive. So TF2 Boomers maybe getting away with a little bit of an answer, but what a slow! What a catch on 2! TF2 Boomers lose 2 more, and that is going to be the hard shove here in the inner lane, just looking for a piece of the pie. In go the 2 Guardians as a chase in as bottom barrel look for a hard shrine, maybe breaking in to the patron itself.
Yeah, I think so. I think I stand corrected about this lineup from TF2 Boomers. I really thought what we were seeing them keep it even and the space creation and team fights and map awareness. Yeah, this bottom barrel team fight is just lethal. Having the Abrams and Dynamo and Infernus just... It's too much control all at once in a team fight that it looks like TF2 Boomers just don't have an answer to right now. And of course, not 3 minutes ago, I was talking about how TF2 Boomers is just out mechanically performing bottom barrel. So again, like you were saying, it really does come down to these abilities and macro in this game more than a lot of people realize.
Yeah, I wouldn't say fully eclipsing, because I do still think macro has a huge piece of the puzzle to play in, but it really does just fluctuate back and forth, and that's the glory of Deadlock. That's the glory of seeing these teams duke it out, which, by the way, huge shout out to our production team, our observers as well, trying to track everything that's going on. I mean, it's
Seriously.
hard. It's hard in this game to follow through on every single piece of the puzzle, but we have gotten so much action on our screen across the entirety of what? This is our 8th game of the day. Huge shout out to them right now.
Yeah, this is it's been a lot of Deadlock today. It's been fantastic.
Yeah.
What a fantastic thing this has been. And to close it out with such a close, harrowing game here as well that's just been nonstop back and forth. It is anybody's game at this point. I mean, both these teams right now, we can see that they're having to play for this next mid boss to really make the next big push. As if they make a push without that mid boss, they're walking into certain death, as either one of these teams could win in a team fight given the right opportunity.
Well, right now we're seeing a little bit of a chase out to the side. Mirage trying to hold it down here for TF2 Boomers, trying to spot out and get a little extra damage and a little extra souls to tag up their inventory. You can take a look, the inventory is actually pretty stacked for the Mirage. A T4 in there along, 2 T4s I should say, with a couple T3s to lock it down. So they are being given a lot, but that's going to be a little bit of tag. It looks like they have found a piece of that puzzle, but this is a pause in the middle of fight.
Oh,
Her with the Vindicta. Oh my god, we're not even gonna worry about that. I lied. Don't even worry about that. We're getting right back into the mix, and it looks like we are gonna see the Dynamo get away. So Dynamo is currently safe. No catch to come through for Bottom Barrel. They are going to be safe with all 6 alive.
they might have agreed to they might have had a gentleman's agreement there to just walk away from each other on that fight. It certainly looks like that's what it was, because a lot of numbers there and a lot of ults up on either side. I'm certain that one of them could have grabbed something, but nothing big coming out of that. But still, it's anybody's game right now. I mean, it's playing for these urns. It's playing for that next mid boss. Mid boss should be up here any moment now. The urn is going to be brought across here. It certainly looks like there's a party over here in mid.
I think they just want a party. I wonder if that's all it is, and mostly it's because TF2 Boomers are waiting for that urn to come through. That's actually what they're collapsing for, and that's why there's a problem right now. You're not sure if you can actually go for this one, so you have to round your way back out. TF2 Boomers are going, yo, we are going to circumvent you, so you actually have to drop it on the back end. Instead, you break out a fight early on as the Infernus actually gets caught out here. A little bit swapped down to the ground as you try and run your way to safety, so it feels like a piece of that puzzle has been unleashed. Your Bottom Barrel go, okay, we got away very, very luckily. That could have been in a little bit dangerous situation, but I do not lose my life, so I am currently safe.
Oh,
what a flank. What a flank. If this flank pops off and works, this could be the big piece of the puzzle. Viscous watching as the jump goes up. Dynamo getting sectioned out on the end. Goo Ball to roll its way to victory, but no, it's actually just trying to keep yourself safe. There was a fight of almost DPS, but that's a catch on the far end. Oh, what a catch. Mirage is currently down. This is Bottom Barrel looking for a chance. They lose their Abrams, but that's not really what matters. You look at the DPS alive. It's going to be the burn, baby, burn. 3 down. Looking for some more Shiv on the chase. Let's go ahead and cut someone up. They are going to find Vindicta. Wraith should be next on the chopping block. It's 5 dead as Bottom Barrel stormed the base.
That is so huge. Bottom Barrel.
Or go to mid boss.
Yeah, to grab the mid boss, let Infernus take down the last walker there. Oh man, that is a huge fight from Bottom Barrel, just picking them off one at a time. TF2 Boomers absolutely caught out of position. That is not where you want to be 27 minutes into this one. That is going to be the mid boss for Bottom Barrel. That is going to be a big push into this base. That might be the game here, but again, too early to call. Too early to call.
There ain't no 7 here. There ain't no John Deadlocks to occur.
No John Deadlocks here.
I will say, though, I really do think they could have used that time to break down the base even further. I think the mid boss could have been taken a little bit later, considering the timing and how much DPS and how much they could have just overwhelmed that right outer. But I like the call either way. You go ahead and get fresh on all of the, or get fresh rejuvenation on everyone, and you are set. You have 6 available. Now you just can't take a bad team fight. And looking at TF2 Boomers, how are you going to contest with this one? I got to ask you, Big D.
I don't know that you are. I mean, you have to find them out of position. This is another situation where Bottom Barrel is just, the lead is starting to grow now. It's still only 13K, which again, at this point, you know, very close game. If TF2 Boomers can force a fight, if they can find this Abrams out of position, they have no idea how close they are to him right now, I don't think. But if they could find the pick, if they could find something, well, it certainly looks like they might here. They're starting to bear down on him.
Yeah, they're trying to chase as hard as they can. You can see Goo just running forward. Viscous trying to find an opportunity, but that's going to be Shiv to try and run interference as well. Saying no words, the rest. A Bottom Barrel is slowly starting to collapse, but I don't know if that's enough time. What a catch. And that's going to be damage to be swapped out as well. You're brought right into the mix. And Shiv, is they really gonna live? No, you are now down. That's gonna be 2-piece going over to TF2 Boomers, but now they lose members as well as the rest of Bottom Barrel say, yo, we're not at the bottom, we're here to play. Bring us your heads, we will take you all. Viscus is the next to fall. Warden and Wraith, the only 2 W's that might turn into L's as they lose a 5th. Wraith running for the hills as Bottom Barrel. The rejuvenation will bring everyone back and alive as that's a team wipe for Bottom Barrel with all 6 alive.
That is absolutely massive. I like I said, even with TF2 Boomers finding the pick off on the Abrams, it just looks like it was bait from Bottom Barrel. Bottom Barrel just have the Abrams out in front. They're not afraid. They've got the Rejuvenator. They want to force the team fight. They want to pull them into the tankiest hero. That's exactly what they do. TF2 Boomers, they fall for it. They get the picks on the Shiv and the Abrams, but the follow-up from the rest of Bottom Barrel, just absolutely beautiful. The Soul Rebirth on Yamato, she's just unkillable at this point. And, you know, they might have one little chance here to try to put, as seen in some of these other games, get so narrowly close in the final moments of this game. But several for the barrel. That's not looking good for TF2 Boomers.
Nope, it's just too much damage. TF2 Boomers are late to the